Donald Trump just had a meltdown of epic proportions during a disastrous press conference at the White House. The purported purpose of this press conference was for Donald Trump to announce his bailout of farmers who are being bankrupted because of Trump's tariffs against the world. But during this press conference, Donald Trump was asked questions which provoked him to just recklessly lash out in such a bizarre manner. Let me show you what went down when a member of the press asked Donald Trump, when are you going to release the video footage of the second strike of the survivors from the fishing boat off the coast of Venezuela on September 2nd, when they survived the first strike that were the war crimes? You said you would release the video footage about 5 days ago. So when are you going to release it? Watch what Donald Trump says. Here, play this clip.
Mr. President, you said that you would have Mr. President, you said you would have no problem with releasing the full video of that strike on September 2nd off the coast of Venezuela. Secretary Hegseth now says.
You said that. I didn't say that. This is ABC fake news.
You said that you would have no problem releasing the full bit. Okay, well, Secretary Hegseth.
No, whatever Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
He now says it's under review. Are you ordering the secretary to release that full video?
Whatever he decides is okay with me. So every boat we knock out of the water, every boat, we save 25,000 American lives.
And just so we can bring out the receipts for you, here's what Donald Trump said 5 days ago in the Oval Office, where he said he would be releasing the video footage. Play this clip.
President, you released video of that first boat strike on September 2nd, but not the second video. Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what happened?
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release. No problem. You know, we stopped every boat we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives.
Now back to today's disastrous press conference. Donald Trump said that things are much more affordable now. He basically says we don't have any affordability crisis, and he says inflation has been solved. Here, play this clip.
Prices are way down. We brought prices way down from what it was. We inherited high prices. We inherited the biggest inflation in the history of our country. That means prices going up. And we brought it down very substantially. Now inflation is essentially gone. We have it normalized, and it'll go down even a little bit further. You don't want it to be deflation either. You have to be careful. But we brought it way down. We had inflation that was the highest in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but I say the history. 48 years is pretty bad too, right?
Donald Trump is then asked about the news of 20 Republican Congress members thinking about resigning or threatening to resign because they just don't want to be part of the House under MAGA Mike Johnson and Donald Trump anymore. Trump lashes out at the reporter, starts attacking the reporter, and says, "You've come unprepared." It should be noted that recklessly lashing out in these unprovoked ways is also a sign of Alzheimer's. And you know our coverage here about that on the MeidasTouch network. Here, play this clip.
Mr. President, on the midterms, and I just have a quick question. There's at least 20 House Republicans who have either said they're going to retire or not run again. Do you have any
Democrats
concerns
also.
about the
And Democrats.
Right.
Also.
Do you have any?
Well, why don't you mention them? How many Democrats are going to retire? How many Democrats?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you.
But why don't you tell me the number of Democrats too? You tell me about.
Are you concerned about the narrow margins? And
no, I'm not concerned. I think we're going to do well.
Among them, and
we will have the greatest economy.
Blakeman, who you know as well, is considering running for
governor. We're going to have the greatest economy in history. How many Democrats are retiring? How come you only know the Republicans but not the Democrats?
Because I came prepared to ask you a question about.
No, you're unprepared because you should know the Democrats. You're totally unprepared. Go ahead.
So can I ask a quick follow-up about? Who are you with? I'm with New York Newsday, and I also have a quick follow-up.
Now, as part of this press conference as well, you had people like Brooke Rollins, the agriculture secretary, having to suck up to Donald Trump. It was so bizarre. She says, you know, you're the greatest boss in the world. This, as Donald Trump is now having to bail out the farmers who fall under her jurisdiction because his tariffs against the world are bankrupting them. Here, play this clip.
Madam Secretary.
Thank you to the greatest boss in the world for a long time now. It's just an honor to be here. I'm going to keep my comments very short.
While we're at it, folks, I just want to remind you, make sure you hit subscribe to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel. As you know, we're under attack from this regime right now. They want to shut us down. They want to destroy us. So please help us get to 6 million subscribers. You may think you're subscribed, but you may not actually be subscribed. So double check and hit the subscribe button. Now, Donald Trump then says that it's actually very difficult to work a lawnmower right now. He says because of all of these environmental things, you now have to touch all of these buttons and you need a 185 IQ if you want to work a lawnmower. No, you don't. I don't think you know how to work a lawnmower. Here, play this clip.
Farming equipment has gotten too expensive. And a lot of the reason is because they put these environmental excesses on the equipment, which don't do a damn thing except make it complicated, make it impractical. And you really have to be, in many cases, you need about 185 IQ to turn on a lawnmower.
Then Brooke Rollins, the agriculture secretary, says, we're so thankful that you're looking into the cause of why equipment, fertilizer, and seed has gotten so much more expensive. Thank you for your leadership. I think we have an answer. It's not exactly a mystery. It's the tariffs. Here, play this clip.
Year in 2026, as we have fought to bring input costs down, you have talked about, and even this weekend did an executive order, signed one on looking into the reason that so much of these costs have been driven up over and over. Equipment, again, fertilizer, seed, et cetera, et cetera. We have to make sure we understand why that is, and then the continuing of the additional trade deals across the world. And no longer will America be held and beholden to the regime of other countries' tariff infrastructure. Instead, we are moving our products out across the world.
Donald Trump then talks about giving the $12 billion to the farmers. By the way, he gave $40 billion to Argentina to then undercut our farmers by selling their soybeans to China. But Donald Trump says $12 billion, that's a lot of money. Here, play this clip.
So we're going to use that money to provide $12 billion in economic assistance to American farmers. $12 billion is a lot of money, Meryl. What do you think? Peanuts for you, though, right? Peanuts. She's a farmer of rice. This relief will provide much needed certainty to farmers as they get this year's harvest to market and look ahead to next year's crops. And it'll help them continue their efforts to lower food prices for American families. And again,
and then Donald Trump says it's because of the tariffs that this is possible. Okay. It's because of the tariffs that you've bankrupted the farmers, not that you had to bail them out. Here, play this clip.
Years is just as bright, if not brighter than the last. So thank you, sir.
Brooke. Thank you. And this money would not be possible without tariffs. The tariffs are taking in, hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're giving some up to the farmers because they were mistreated by other countries for, I don't know, maybe right reasons, maybe wrong reasons. They weren't, they were trying to show us something, and it's really worked out really well. But because of the tariffs, this is possible.
The older I get, the more I find myself wanting to be more intentional about the way I live, eat, and take care of my body. That's why I'm so happy I found Mosh. Mosh, which you may have heard about on Shark Tank, was founded by Maria Shriver and her son Patrick Schwarzenegger with a simple mission: to create a conversation about brain health through food, education, and research. Maria's father suffered from Alzheimer's, and since then, she and Patrick have dedicated themselves to finding ways to help other families dealing with this debilitating disease. Mosh joined forces with the world's top scientists and functional nutritionists to go beyond your average protein bar. With 8 delicious flavors, including a plant-based one in peanut butter and chocolate, each Mosh bar is made with ingredients that support brain health like ashwagandha, lion's mane, collagen, and omega-3s. And now Mosh bars come with a new look and new formulation, featuring a game-changing brain-boosting ingredient that you won't find in any other bar. Mosh is now the first and only food brand boosted with Cognizant, a premium nootropic that supplies the brain with a patent form of acetylcholine. But here's the best part: to make you feel good, Mosh donates a portion of all proceeds from your order to fund gender-based brain health research through the Women's Alzheimer's Movement. Why gender-based? Because 2/3 of all Alzheimer's patients are women. Mosh is working closely to close the gap between women and men's health research. Personally, I love the taste of my Mosh bars. My favorite is the peanut butter crunch, which I have each morning before I head off to the gym. Now, if you want to find ways to give back to others and fuel your body and your brain, Mosh bars are the perfect choice for you. Head to moshlife.com/Meidas to save 20% off plus free shipping on the bestseller trial pack. That's 20% off plus free shipping on the bestsellers trial pack at moshlife.com/Meidas. Thank you, Mosh, for sponsoring this episode.
And then Brooke Rollins says, but give Donald Trump credit. Every time I'm around him, he says, how are my farmers doing? Here, play this clip.
Just know that this president, I have never been around anyone who every time we talk, he asks, how are my farmers? Every single time. So we will never stop fighting. We will make sure that we're doing everything we can to ensure the next 250 years is just as bright, if not brighter than the last. So
then you can see these like bizarre members. I won't even call them members of the press. I think this person works at Mike Lindell's media company or one of the companies like that. And so she asked Donald Trump, she goes, everybody knows, she goes, everybody knows that January 6th was a Fed-surrection led by the FBI to bring you down. And Donald Trump's like, yeah, I agree with that. That's a great statement. And I'm going to look into my own prosecutor for helping with a Fed-surrection. Again, deranged conspiracies, but this is what's happening in the White House now. So you need to watch it. Play this clip.
Everybody's talking about the pipe bomb over the weekend, the suspect that was taken into custody. I reported on Biden's kangaroo court for 4 years. And this is an important question to me. Everyone knows that J6 was a Fed-surrection to set you and your supporters up. So my question is, what's your gut instinct about the new pipe bomb or suspect taken into custody? Does your instinct tell you that he acted alone? And also, Mr. President, how do you feel about the lead prosecutor on the pipe bomber case? Jocelyn Ballantine is the same prosecutor that allegedly asked the J6er to lie to frame you for J6 when you did nothing wrong. What are your thoughts?
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that question. It's sort of a statement, and I appreciate it very much. Jocelyn is being looked at. They all have to be looked at. What they're doing is so bad. This was a whole Democrat hoax. The whole thing was a Democrat hoax, and it's all being looked at. I appreciate that.
Trump is then asked about Alina Habba having to resign after she was disqualified over and over again by every judge that she's appeared in front of as the United States attorney because she's unlawfully behaving as the United States attorney. And Donald Trump's like, she's not disqualified. This is the Democrats' fault. No, it's your fault for putting unqualified people in these positions. And then the federal judges, both Trump-appointed judges, Biden-appointed judges, Obama, Clinton, Reagan, all these judges don't extend the term of the interim United States attorneys who can also get confirmed because they're not qualified. They don't have any background being federal prosecutors. That's why this is happening. Here, play this clip.
Okay, what else?
Yeah, Alina Habba says she's stepping down as U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey after the courts disqualified her. Do you have any comment on that?
Well, she's not disqualified. You've got a blue slip thing that's horrible. It's a horrible thing. It makes it impossible to appoint a judge or a U.S. attorney, and it's a shame. And the Republicans should be ashamed of themselves that they allowed this to go on, because I can't appoint a U.S. attorney that's not a Democrat, because they put a block on it. So if you appoint in Virginia or in New Jersey or in California a U.S. attorney or a judge, I mean, a judge situation is ridiculous. The only people that you can get by are Democrats.
Then Donald Trump talks about how he wants to take away more and more vaccines. And he comes up with this weird thing that we're giving children 88 shots in one big glass of stuff like that. What are you even talking about? You don't know the way these work. And it's so despicable that you've now taken away the hepatitis B, or you've removed recommendations for hepatitis B for newborns, which is going to lead to the deaths of so many newborns and many newborns contracting hepatitis B. Here, play this clip.
I think we take like 88 different shots all wrapped up in one big glass of stuff like that. And we're going to be reducing it very substantially.
Do you support the paramount?
It'll be safe,
bid, Mr. President?
but we're going to be reducing it very substantially.
Then Trump says that it's not even a healthcare plan. He goes, his idea that we get rid of insurance companies altogether and give people $2,000 checks and use that to replace their healthcare. He goes, that's gone mega viral. It's gone mega viral. Here, play this clip.
Madam Secretary, do you support that?
Go ahead.
That Republican plan that you just talked about when it comes to health care, when do you expect Republicans to put that
We're
on?
looking at it very strongly, and we're also going to the Democrats and asking them to do it. The Democrats want to make the insurance companies rich. They're all paid off by the insurance companies. A tremendous amount of the insurance company funding goes to Democrats. Why don't you ask that question of the Democrats? Because I would love to do it. I'd love all of the money to go to the people. They go to the people. You know, I put that out 2 weeks ago. It became #1 viral. People love it. I want the money to go for healthcare, to go to the people and let the people buy their own healthcare through an account. They can buy their own healthcare. And everybody loves it, except for the Democrats. And you know why they don't? Because they're paid off by the insurance companies. Okay, what else?
Yeah, Alina Habba says she's stepping down as U.S. Attorney for the...
And then he says that Xi Jinping asked him, so are your soybeans, are they actually more nutritious than other countries, or are you just making up Trump stuff? In other words, do you just lie about everything? Or is this actually true that your soybeans are better? Xi Jinping was mocking Donald Trump, and Trump doesn't even realize what was taking place. Play this clip.
It's to China as we speak. And I say that our soybeans, I told this to President Xi, our soybeans are more nutritious than competitors. Somebody said, is that a Trump statement or is that real? In fact, you know who asked me that question? President Xi asked me that question. He said, really, I had never heard of it. And he was a food purchaser for a long time.
And then Donald Trump attacks former President Biden and says, he's a sleepy guy. He's a sleepy guy. Here, play this clip.
They're so important. Unfortunately, under sleepy Joe Biden, he was a sleepy guy. Our farmers were crushed by the worst inflation in modern history and crippling restrictions on energy, water, and countless other necessities for farmers. And what they did to the farmer in terms of putting the brakes on was just absolutely unacceptable.
And then finally, you have some random farmer sitting next to Trump who says, my son says, Daddy, I don't want Santa Claus from Christmas. I want Donald. Here, play this clip.
Story at night, putting him to bed, and he said, Daddy, I don't want Santa Claus to come to our house for Christmas. I want President Trump. and I think, Mr. Trump, I think you brought Christmas to farmers. With this bridge payment, we'll be able to farm another year, help us get by. It's such an honor to be here with you.
So utterly pathetic. Let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.